What if I told you the best version of Infiniti's flagship luxury SUV is not the most expensive one? What if I told you that by spending nearly $10,000 more, you actually make the 2026 Infiniti QX80 worse to live with every single day? Because that is exactly what happens when you choose the top-tier autograph instead of the QX80 Sport. And this is not one of those value trim arguments where you sacrifice luxury to save money. This is a case where the second-best trim quietly fixes the biggest problems of the flagship and ends up being the version you would actually want to own. The Infiniti QX80 has always played a strange role in the full-size luxury SUV. It competes with giants like the Cadillac Escalade and Lincoln Navigator, vehicles that dominate parking lots and Instagram feeds alike. Yet Infiniti's approach has never been about being the loudest or flashiest. Instead, it leans toward understated luxury, comfort, and the kind of old-school plushness that appeals to buyers who want refinement without spectacle. For 2026, Infiniti is continuing its brand refresh by introducing a new trim level called Sport, replacing the outgoing Sensory trim and slotting just below the range-topping Autograph. And here's the common belief. The highest trim is always the best. More features, more tech, more luxury, fewer compromises. That is how luxury SUVs usually work. If you can afford it, you check every box, get the flagship trim, and enjoy knowing you bought the best version available. That assumption drives a massive percentage of luxury vehicle purchases, and automakers rely on it heavily. But the 2026 Infiniti QX80 Sport completely flips that logic on its head. Because once you actually spend time inside it, once you live with the interior, move through the cabin, use the tech, load cargo, and sit in every row, it becomes obvious that the Autograph trim went a step too far. Too many features, too much redundancy, too many things that look impressive on a spec sheet but actively make the vehicle less usable. The Sport trim borrows almost everything that matters from the Autograph, strips out the unnecessary fluff, and in doing so becomes the most balanced, most livable, and frankly most elegant QX80 you can buy. And the proof is right there in the details. Same core interior materials. Same 24-speaker clip sound system. Same semi-aniline leather. Same messaging front seats. Same open-pore wood. Same overall sense of occasion when you open the door. But at nearly $10,000 less, the Sport delivers those experiences without the compromises that the Autograph introduces. So in this video, we are breaking down why the 2026 Infiniti QX80 Sport S interior is the sweet spot of the lineup, why its design choices actually improve daily usability, why the dark blue Sport exclusive interior might be Infiniti's best cabin color in years, and why, for once, resisting the top trim is the smarter luxury move. By the end, you will understand why the second-best QX80 is the one you should be buying. Let us start with what Infiniti absolutely nailed. The core interior experience. The QX80 Sport borrows heavily from the Autograph, and that is a good thing. You still get the same tri-screen infotainment layout, the same premium materials throughout the first and second rows, and the same sense that Infiniti was aiming for a luxury living room rather than a tech demo on wheels. The semi-aniline leather in the first two rows feels soft and expensive, the open-pore wood trim adds warmth rather than flash, and the overall cabin design feels cohesive rather than cluttered. And then there is the color. The Sport exclusive dark blue leather interior is the star of the show. Paired with a dark gray headliner, dark pillars, and dark open-pore wood, it creates a cabin atmosphere that feels genuinely upscale without trying too hard. In fact, it ends up feeling more refined than the Autograph's burgundy interior with metallic pinstriping. Where the Autograph leans into visual drama, the Sport leans into restraint, and that restraint pays off. It is a cabin that feels calm, confident, and timeless, rather than trendy. Seats remain comfortable and supportive even over longer drives, and Infiniti's focus on plushness has not disappeared in the name of sportiness. This is not a stiff or aggressive interior. is still very much a luxury SUV, just one that understands how people actually use their vehicles. Now here is where things get interesting. The Sport trim deletes several autograph features that sound impressive on paper, but do not actually add much value in real life. The most important deletion is the second-row center console with its touchscreen control panel and massaging seats. On the autograph, this setup looks high-end, but quickly becomes redundant. The touchscreen duplicates functions already available elsewhere, and the massage function itself was not particularly impressive to begin with. By removing that entire console, the Sport gains something far more valuable: space and usability. The second row now has easily accessible cup holders and a foam pad, and passengers can step over the tray to access the third row without having to fold seats or awkwardly maneuver around bulky furniture. You still get your own climate controls, which is what second-row passengers actually care about. The result is a cabin that is easier to move through and easier to live with. This design decision also has a ripple effect when it comes to cargo. With all the seats folded down, the QX80 Sport's lack of a bulky second-row console means you get a flatter, more usable cargo floor. Loading large items, furniture, gear, or anything bulky becomes significantly easier. In real-world use, this matters far more than a second-row touchscreen that most passengers will ignore after the first week. And this is where Infiniti accidentally reveals something important. Luxury is not about how many features you can add. It is about how intelligently you choose which ones to leave out. Move to the third row, and the story continues. The Sport's third-row bench is straightforward and practical. You get nice leather, 2 outboard cup holders, and a USB port on each side. What you do not get are the autograph's heated third-row seats. And while that might sound like a downgrade, it actually aligns the QX80 more realistically with how third rows are used. It is still spacious for a regular wheelbase 3-row SUV, legroom is respectable, and it remains perfectly usable for adults on shorter trips or kids on longer ones. Cargo space with all seats upright remains on the smaller side, but that is typical for this class when you do not have an extended wheelbase option. The trade-off is decent legroom across all 3 rows, and for many buyers, that is the right compromise. Technology is where opinions start to diverge, and the QX80 Sport is no exception. The infotainment system is the same tri-screen setup found in the autograph. That means the strengths and weaknesses carry over. The system looks impressive and offers a lot of functionality, but it also has a learning curve and is not the most intuitive interface on the market. If you have already seen or used the autograph's exterior, nothing here will surprise you. Where things change slightly is driver assistance. ProPilot Assist 2.1. Infiniti's hands-free adaptive cruise control system is standard on the autograph, but optional on the Sport. The test vehicle here came equipped with ProPilot Assist 1.1 instead. That means no hands-free highway cruising, but you still get adaptive cruise control with lane-keeping assistance. In practice, ProPilot Assist 1.1 does reduce highway fatigue and generally works as intended. However, it is not flawless. There were instances where the system nudged the vehicle out of its lane unexpectedly, requiring corrective steering. It is not the most confidence-inspiring system compared to some competitors, but it does the job most of the time. And importantly, there is no future subscription fee attached to it, which is becoming an increasingly rare advantage in the luxury segment. After road grime and winter slush interfered with the sensors, the adaptive cruise control had to be disabled until the vehicle was cleaned. That is not unique to Infiniti, but it is worth noting if you live in harsher climates. Now let us talk money, because this is where the Sport makes its strongest case. The 2026 Infiniti QX80 Sport starts at $104,140 and comes essentially fully loaded. The test vehicle added a Sport exterior package, an interior lighting package, and premium paint, pushing the price slightly higher. But none of these options feel essential, and skipping them does not meaningfully diminish the experience. In the context of the segment, the QX80 undercuts rivals like the Cadillac Escalade and Lincoln Navigator by a significant margin. Those competitors offer extended wheelbase versions, which Infiniti does not, but they also command substantially higher prices. The QX80 Sport positions itself as a value-oriented luxury SUV without feeling like a compromise. And this brings us to the real conclusion. If you were shopping purely based on tradition, you would probably gravitate toward the Autograph. It is the flagship. It has every feature Infiniti offers. It represents the pinnacle of the lineup. But living with the QX80 Sport makes it clear that more is not always better. By deleting redundant features, improving cabin flow, enhancing cargo usability, and offering what may be the best interior color combination in the lineup, the Sport ends up feeling more thoughtfully designed than the top trim. You do not miss the second-row screen. You do not miss the underwhelming massage function. You do not miss the extra complexity. What you gain is a cabin that works better every day. We thought we would miss the hands-free ProPilot system, but in practice, the standard adaptive cruise control proved sufficient for most driving situations. And not having to worry about future subscription costs is a quiet but meaningful win. Luxury buyers are conditioned to chase the top trim. Automakers depend on it. But the 2026 Infiniti QX80 Sport proves that sometimes the smartest choice is one step down. It delivers nearly everything that matters, cuts out what does not, and does it for nearly $10,000 less. In this lineup, the second best trim is not a compromise. It is the sweet spot. So here is the question for you. Would you still buy the top trim just because it is the flagship, or would you take the smarter, more usable version and keep the extra money in your pocket? Drop your take in the comments. I read them all. And if you want more honest breakdowns of cars that do not follow the obvious narrative, make sure you are subscribed. The next one might completely change how you see another top-tier vehicle.